Welcome everybody to a galaxy far, far away. That's a different franchise. We're reading Project Hail Mary right now. All right, it's an Andy Weir book, not a George Lucas book, but it is sci-fi, and we are talking about a singular character and his newfound friend. In a galaxy far, far away, trying to save the human race and the Iridian race.
Let me ask you something. How confident are you that this is a galaxy far, far away and not our galaxy?
You know what?
I don't really know where we draw the line between, because we're in the Milky Way.
It might be our galaxy.
So galaxy, then universe. What's the universe?
The universe is the biggest one. Everything is in the universe, right? I don't know how big a galaxy is, though. Because I guess a galaxy has multiple solar systems. That's pretty small in terms of...
nothing exists outside the universe.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a deep question.
This is a great... Well, there's probably other universes outside the universe.
Well, that's where the multiverse comes in, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
How big is
Well, the universe is always getting bigger. I do know that. The universe is always expanding.
And I don't really know what that means. Like, how can what's it expanding into?
Nothing. It's making the mass and expanding at an equal rate.
How is it doing that? This is still from the Big Bang.
Crazy inertia.
So
space inertia. Going nuts.
Sure, this solar system that Ryland Grace is in our galaxy, because the Milky Way galaxy has a radius of around 52,850 light years.
Oh, sheesh. That's crazy. 52,000 light years?
Yeah.
You said that's the radius?
That's the radius. So the diameter is double. Yeah. It's like 105,000 light years.
That's
across.
a huge pizza, man. What about the medium? Like, what's the...
Oh...
There's, according to NASA science, science.nasa.gov, our galaxy probably contains 100 to 400 billion stars.
Okay. Of which,
all of them are covered in astrophysics.
Tau Ceti is for real, though, right? Tau Ceti exists.
Probably, yeah.
Tau Ceti is real, and it's also...
It does. It exists.
It's the location of upcoming Bungie, creator of Halo follow-up game Marathon.
Is that true?
And it's taking place on Tau Ceti. I was like, oh shit, that's the Project Hail Mary planet.
I feel like the popular planet or popular star back in the day was Alpha Centauri. Like, you guys, have you heard of that?
Yeah, what's her face dropped it? Jessica or whatever from his class dropped Alpha Centauri.
Oh yeah. But I feel like that showed up a lot in pop culture. I guess this Tau
Titan had its time as well. People were going to the Saturn moon of Titan. People were going crazy for that for a long time. Sounds cool. Yeah. Sounds better than Tau Ceti or whatever this place is. Tau Ceti. About Tau Ceti. How much you got on it? Tau Ceti.
So let's hop in, guys.
Yeah, let's hop in.
Where did we leave off last? We left off.
Had they made the chain yet?
Rocky has just made like himself a space suit so that he can go into
they were moving
Ryland's
in together.
Spaceship. Yeah. They're moving in. Ryland's got a new roommate. That's where we're at.
So wait, this is chapter 16 we begin?
Yeah. Chapter 16 is where we started, and chapter 22 is where we ended.
All right.
I got the beats down. I don't know the chronologic though.
Yeah.
So well, you know, one thing, like at the very beginning, we're like halfway through the book, and O'Rallin is like talking about how they have to conserve their gas or whatever because he's like, oh, I don't have enough gas to get back to Earth, and Rocky's basically just like, oh, I do.
Yeah,
that's like the first thing that happens in this section.
Yeah. So he's explaining. Ryland is explaining how like it took every bit of, or not every, but most of his fuel to get here, and that he's not going to be able to go home. So it's going to be a suicide mission. And then Rocky is like, "Oh, we have plenty. We like." For some reason, it took us way less time to get here than we thought it would, and
and it seemed like it was a shorter distance too. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Turns out, homeboy doesn't. His whole culture doesn't understand radiation, and it doesn't understand relativity.
Relativity, yeah, pretty nuts.
And frankly, I'm right there with you. I don't think I can give you an accurate representation of either of those things.
Yeah, there was like a little bit of a description of radiation, like I guess a couple chapters ago when Ryland was explaining it, and he was like, it's just like these really powerful hydrogen ions or whatever. And I was like, huh, I didn't know that. I would not have known that.
To me, functionally, they're death rays. That's all it is to me. It's a death ray.
The thing about like fucking high level scientists and like professors of science is that they don't know how to fucking
like whatever you
explain
do.
anything.
No, it's not the same thing.
Is that they don't know how to explain anything in a way that makes sense to a normal brain. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, this was an ongoing issue for me and Seth, I assume for you as well when we were in college.
Yeah, that's why I joined a different school.
I can guarantee, Seth, you are very much a normal person. That mitigates it anyway.
It's just that, like, any class you ever go into, especially STEM-based, the professors are, like, trying to explain this thing, but they also feel like they need to make it clear that they think this is the most top-tier knowledge that you can understand, and it's going to be really difficult to understand, and you're going to have to work really hard to understand it, when they could also dumb it down at the very beginning and be like, hey, it's just hydrogen ions. That's what it boils down to. Now that you have that very basic understanding, we can work our way up. But that's something cool, I think, that Andy Weir and maybe sci-fi authors in general have, is that they have somewhat of an idea of what science is like, and they have a good way to explain it because their brain isn't the way a normal STEM person's brain is.
I don't think you need to know anything about science to write sci-fi at all.
Maybe not.
No.
You just need consultants.
You just need space crystals. You just bullshit it out. You just make magic.
Space crystals.
True. Yeah.
Well, I saw something. Apparently, I haven't read this book, and this is just like an interesting anecdote. And then we can get back to the thing that we're talking about. But I guess maybe we should go back in time too, because that's what we've been doing before, is talking about the past and then talking about the present. So we can do that. But there's a famous sci-fi book. I think it's from like the 70s called Neuromancer, which is like the thing that created cyberpunk as like a genre. And this was made in the 70s, and the guy who wrote it had never used a computer before.
Dude, what up, my chooms?
Is that from Neuromancer?
That's from Cyberpunk.
Oh. It didn't work on my Xbox, so I didn't really... Like, I had it, I own it, but it was like, it didn't work.
No, the game's a piece of shit.
So anyway. But yeah, so like that, I guess that goes to show, like, I don't know, if you can... Because we're not... 99% of people who are reading this don't know whether this information in here is right or wrong. So it
the Andy Weir world he created in this is one where like Earth is getting like mega global, like mega climate change. Like they blew up Antarctica with nukes.
Yeah.
And like I'd still rather live in that one than in the cyberpunk universe. Like I don't.
Yeah, cyberpunk is like, what if everything was like, it really sucked?
What if like corporations owned everything? You thought they owned everything? What if they owned your brain? What if they owned your brain? You got a chip in there.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah.
But
what's not yucky is talking about sex in the workplace.
Yeah. So in our first flashback of this week's reading, Ryland meets a bunch of the space crew members who are either the first level, right? The ones that are gonna go, the A team, that are gonna go on the spaceship, or the B team that is like the backups. And the A team and the B team can never be in the same place at the same time, just in case, because they all have their own like specialties. There's like a biologist specialist. I don't know what are the other specialists.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really know what the specializations are. I just know.
I don't know. There's 3 different roles, but we all know it doesn't matter.
It
like,
doesn't.
That's kind of my whole issue with the whole point.
Matter.
The whole point with this, like, things like I already know that Ryland Grace is the only one that's alive, and the other 2, I already know which 3 are on the thing. So like, there's no dramatic irony to be had, or there's no there's no suspense.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I already know that he's gonna be on the ship. So you just like laying out the groundwork that he's gonna be on the ship where he's got the gene, like he's in this position, and that's what all these flashbacks are. They're just kind of filling in the blanks to Ryland Grace going into this, and it just kind of led me to believe like, why is this non-linear? Because like frankly, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be kind of interesting if maybe...
It would be interesting in the movie, but like it doesn't matter to the story at all.
Yeah, well, I think it would be kind of interesting if maybe this book was split into 2 separate books where there's like a little bit of a time jump in the middle, right? So the first book is them discovering that the sun is cooling off, and then everything leading up until blast off, basically. And then the second book would be Ryland waking up in the spaceship.
That could be kind of cool because it's like it could function kind of like a mystery thriller. It's like how can we do research on this stuff and like whatever, like in the first movie, and the second one would be kind of more action, I guess, action thriller.
Right.
Yeah, but we don't get that. We get one book.
Yeah, but it's all mixed and jumbled together. We do get to meet. Ryland meets Captain Yao. And Ilyukina, I think is her name.
Yeah, AT&T girl.
And then
and there's a little bit of a discussion too, because Ryland is like, Strat, I thought you said there were going to be no women. I thought it was all heterosexual men.
I thought it was just a fucking sausage party up in space.
I thought this was a weird section. I guess Andy Weir's like, we need to be totally realistic and like sexual tensions or something that might matter. And like, I guess, but I would have left this out.
Yep, I agree. I was a little weird. I think a lot of this shit's weird.
Like nobody's
the whole
thinking
flashback
that.
could have been done without, and then the details could also been done differently.
Only assholes are thinking about that level of detail in a book.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, especially because it doesn't matter because they die. Like, it really doesn't matter. They're in a coma and then they die. There's no sexual tension there.
Yeah.
But the A team is Yao and Ilyukina, who we've heard about, and then there's this guy Dubois.
Dubois.
Like,
I've been saying Dubois.
Yeah, I'm always reading it as Dubois, man. I don't know.
Dubois. There's this guy Dubois.
He's an African American man who's the biology specialist.
And he's a freak as well.
Yeah, he's super weird. He's super weird, dude.
Yeah, but so when you first meet him, you flag, okay, I've never heard of this guy. I have heard of the other people, and also he's a freak. So those are the 2 things you notice. And then you meet the B team.
The B team.
Or you hear about one of them.
And it's interesting. 2 out of 3 people on the A team I've read those names before.
Yes.
These other 4 people I have never seen.
Yeah.
I know who Ryland Grace is. I think I know how this ends. Oh wait, I do.
Yeah.
Because like the only one with amnesia apparently is Ryland Grace. Everybody else knows everything.
Right. So the only other
Including
person
us.
that you need to know besides the A team, specifically Martin Dubois, is Martin Dubois' backup, Annie Shapiro. She's also American. She's also a biology specialist. And she is going to take his place if something were to happen to him.
Yeah.
And they're never supposed to be in the same location at the same time. What the fuck?
Well, they're supposed to be no. Both teams are never supposed to be fully assembled in the same vehicle at the same time.
Right,
Okay,
but they can be banging in the.
But they can
room
bone
closet.
each other everywhere, anywhere that has a flat surface. Like
So anyway, they're not banging yet.
Yeah,
but
right.
but they will. Shapiro and Dubois.
And Strat also
they just haven't met yet. That's frankly the only reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Strat also mentions to Ryland that he is going to be the one teaching Dubois and Shapiro about astrophage because he's the leading astrophage scientist in the world. Right.
And then we get a cute little scene of everybody watching some TV, and then Ryland not realizing that he's the number 2 of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And like finally putting it together. And kind of answer some of our questions from last time. It's like, why the hell is Ryland here? It's just like everyone but us and Ryland knew that he was the number 2. And they also think that he's banging Strat.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
But then I look at the movie casting, and I don't think that's going to be a plotline.
Yeah.
Good.
Well.
Good. I don't care about that.
Ryland, in addition to being like the number 2 guy to Strat, is also like their guinea pig for some stuff. So he's like testing out the spacesuit and some tools and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then one of the training sessions he has with Dubois and Shapiro, this Dubois guy is like, Dr. Grace, I just wanted to let you know that me and Dr. Shapiro have begun a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you telling me that? And then he like gives him a bunch of information or details about it. I guess this turns out to be important because they're together maybe when they shouldn't be.
Right.
At a particular time.
And he's also like questioning them. He's like, well, one of you is going into space and is going to die out there. Does that like concern you? And they're like, no, yeah, we understand. Like, this is purely, I don't know, situationshipy or whatever.
Yeah, we're just bonding because we can't. And one of us is going to die. Guaranteed. Like, well,
strings attached.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then also in the past we get, this happens all the time, basically like 50% of the flashbacks are just like, hi, Dr. Grace, I'm Dr. Blank. I'm an expert in this. And
Right.
I'm going to solve the particular issue you have with this.
And that particular issue is somewhat related to what's going on currently in the exploding ship that's on fire somehow.
Yeah, so we saw this with the coma doctor lady. We saw this with the centrifuge doctor lady. We saw this with the astrophage breeding pool doctor engineer guy.
Yeah, the New
It's just
Zealand
like
guy.
it's like we've got all these issues, and it's like we're gonna give you 2 pages about the person who's gonna fix that issue in a flashback, and then like that's all we hear about it, kind of.
Yeah.
So this guy is Steve Hatch, who's the guy who created the little beetle guys.
Oh yeah, he's from Vancouver.
He is from Vancouver.
That's all I remember about the guy, and he's kind of he's just a dork.
Yeah, he's just a dork. He's a big dork. He's a big Beatles dork.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I want way too much astrophage onium. And he's like, you can't get that much. I'm like, fine, I'll take less.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a big dork, and I mean, basically, he just gives them the Beatles and provides this opportunity for him to make some like puns.
Yeah.
I'd cut this from the movie.
Yeah, I probably would too. But one other thing that happens here is like he keeps on talking about God. So he's like, do you believe in God? I know it's a personal question. I do, and I think it's pretty awesome to make relativity a thing. The faster you go, the less time you experience, blah, 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 blah. It's like he's inviting us to explore the universe. And then they talk about, like, he says, astrophage is the coolest thing ever. Again, God's just handing us the future because it's this really powerful, like, energy storage thing.
Right.
And then he's, like, very optimistic. He's like, oh, no, we'll be fine. We're stockpiling food and shit, like, and Hail Mary's going to succeed and stuff like that. So, I don't know. He just comes in for 2 pages or whatever and solves an issue, but then he also, like, has some other stuff to say about, like, being optimistic or religious or whatever. And I don't think we'll see this guy again. But I did make a note of him.
Do you think that's Andy Weir being a Mormon?
Is he a Mormon?
I think so.
Oh yeah, then probably.
It's strange how like a lot of sci-fi authors are Mormon, but it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm thinking of Orson Scott Card. He's a big Mormon guy.
And I think Brandon Sanderson is a Mormon too.
Yeah.
That's fantasy. That's sci-fi.
But yeah, that's pretty much that sums up Dr. Hatch, right? There's nothing crazy there. Let's see, what's the next flashback scene? We've got
I think the next flashback is
is it launch time? No.
The big explosion.
Yeah, right.
That they have there.
So, anyways, well, there are a couple. Well, no, there's one more flashback at least.
Oh yeah, there's the death thing.
Yeah,
right?
so Ryland has to sit down. I don't know why Ryland has been put in charge of this, but I don't know why Ryland has been put in charge of pretty much anything that he's been put in charge of besides maybe astrophage stuff. But anyways, he has to sit down with the A team. That's Yao, Ilyukina, and Dubois, and ask them each how they would like what is their preference and like how they would like to die, because they're going to die, and the least that humans can do back on Earth is give them the best possible death that they would like, right? And so Dubois decides that he wants to die of like suffocation using nitrogen gas, because nitrogen you would hardly even notice. You would just kind of pass out and die. So there's a bunch of nitrogen gas that's being stored on the Hail Mary.
And this is for real. This is like, people anecdotally like suffocate themselves like by turning on their car in the garage or whatever, because it is painless, because you don't feel pain from suffocating in this way, because what makes you feel bad is having too much carbon dioxide in you. So as long as you exhale, it's not painful, which seems like a bad way to make our system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took us at least 2,000 years, if you're, or like 1,900 years if you're a moron, right? To like figure out until we made cars, right? So
oh no, I meant it's a bad way for our systems to be set up.
Exactly right. So we just weren't running into a situation where we're in a locked space with a carbon monoxide, manufacturer.
Yeah. But anyway, so if you're ever
the longhouses didn't have a carburetor in them,
if you're ever in a situation, you're like, oh, I'm not suffocating. I feel fine. I don't know. You could be.
You could be. Yeah.
You could always be suffocating right now.
It's true. Your house could just be full of nitrogen.
Are you even breathing right now, bro? You're not even breathing, dog. You're not even exhaling at this moment.
So Dubois decides that's how he wants to go. He wants to have, backup nitrogen in his spacesuit, so that if he's out in space, he can press a button and kill himself with nitrogen. And then he wants to have backup nitrogen in the airlock in the ship, so that he can do the same thing there. And so then Ryland asks Ilyukina what she wants, and she's like, you know what? Heroin addicts seem like they're having a lot of fun. I just want to try it before I die. So give me a couple of different doses of heroin, start me off slow, and then the last one, mix it with something else that's going to kill me or just make me OD. So that's.
I mean, she could be onto something. I wouldn't sell it sort of just heroin though. Give me all of them.
Right.
Let me try all of them at least once. Let me get an advent calendar.
Give me the lethal dose of DMT. Anyway, so I guess
open a little box and
allegedly there's some amount of heroin on the spaceship.
Yeah. And there's definitely nitrogen. There is nitrogen.
Yeah,
he talks
there's
about
nitrogen. And then Yao decides that he just wants to be good old fashioned gun. Right. So
that's a good idea. Bring a gun to space.
And his
you can't be a space cowboy without a gun.
There's definitely going to be some of that.
His reasoning is because obviously he can kill himself with a gun, but also if something were to happen to anyone else on the ship, he could kill them as well.
Yeah, that's not a liability at all.
Having a gun,
a gun in space.
After we talked about people going crazy on these things and getting into fist fights and this potential for sexual tension or whatever, which obviously there wasn't because they died anyway. But yeah, it's like you poke a hole in the hull or you shoot the astrophage, it's all over kind of thing. But I guess there's a gun on the ship too, and the gun has to matter I think the heroin has to matter too. I think.
Hey, you got Chekhov's heroin going on.
Yeah.
So that's the second to last flashback we get, and then the final flashback is Ryland is in his trailer at the launch site, I guess.
Which is in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, right.
Best country in the world.
Near, what do they call it? The Roscosmos or something like that?
Yeah.
Is that like the Russian space, like Russian NASA?
Yeah.
Yeah, Russia.
But anyways, yeah, it's in Kazakhstan. And he's in his little trailer. He's... what's he doing? Is it important what he's doing? I don't know.
He's doing like admin work, and he's like, I don't know when I became an administrator. Like, I guess he's like,
you're the number two. We already did the goof. We already did that.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. But anyways, huge explosion happens, right? And I believe it like breaks the windows of his trailer and stuff. It's like legit explosion, like huge.
Yeah, he gets hit by like glass shrapnel from his windows, and he's supposed to be like a couple miles away from the place, I think.
Yeah,
the place exploded.
Right. So he goes outside.
Exploded.
He goes outside. Strat's trailer is like 20 yards away or something, and he's like, "What's going on? What happened?" And Strat's like, "So apparently what facility was it? The
Baikonur.
Hardly know her.
I don't know, man. Some sort of facility, research facility, right? Some sort of research facility where they were doing tests on astrophage and stuff like that have blown up. And she also like brings out her little planner that she has with A team and where they're supposed to be at what times, and B team and where they're supposed to be at what times. And she notices that both Dubois and Shapiro were scheduled to be at this fucking research facility at the same time, doing I don't know what.
Each other.
Doing each other probably. And so obviously if this explosion that came from 2 miles away or whatever, multiple miles away, broke the windows of your trailer, they're fucking dust, right?
Yeah,
so,
they find out, and that's kind of where we end our reading. I don't think we get anything else after that.
Yeah, that's as far as the flashbacks go. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. He's freaking. Well, Ryland is freaking out because he's like, "Holy shit! These 2 students of mine that I've been teaching for the past whoever knows, I don't know how long, months, have both died. That's crazy." And then Strat is like, "Ryland, we can't worry about that right now. We've got to like." Look through the list of other eligible coma-resistant people that we can put in their place.
And know how to work a spacesuit and also know about astrophage.
Yeah.
And also, we find out like a chapter beforehand that, unbeknownst to Rowland, he's got the coma gene. Even though we already knew that, we knew this because he's on the ship.
He's the one that survived the coma.
So it's like
tell him that. I think it was like when he first met.
They let the cat out the bag like this. Reading.
He met Dubois.
He met Dubois. Yeah.
He met Du Bois.
He met Du Bois.
Rest in peace to Du Bois.
Du Bois was like, "Oh, I heard
R.I.P. Du Bois."
He was like, "Hey, we're." Du Bois is like,
"Shout out Black History Month."
What does he say? We're birds of a feather or something like that.
We flock together, big dog. That's what's up.
He's like, I heard,
roar.
I heard we're birds of a feather, and he's like, oh yeah. Ryland's like, yeah. I mean, we both really like biology and stuff. It's pretty crazy. He's like, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the coma resistance, dog. He's like, what? Which is like stupid. It's like, hey, dude, we have the same coma resistance gene. How about that?
Yeah, so I will say, I think that is like, I don't know, that's a weird connection. And then also the fact that, I mean, I guess Shapiro and I guess they're having sexual relations, which is why they're hanging out together. But yeah, that should have been prevented. So anyway, yeah, but they got blown up. They got blown up for real. They were like, this whole place is vaporized. And Rowland was like, what are those little things? And they were like, oh, those are drops of metal. The explosion was so hot, the metal vaporized and then like rained down onto the ground. So it like condensed again. So it was pretty hot. So,
That's crazy.
They're toast for real.
I don't think I imagined that when I read it. I just kind of went through.
Yeah.
It, like,
I didn't
turned
know
into
it was
pennies or
raining
whatever.
mercury.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty
Raining
gnarly
Rocky
stuff.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But then I guess we go to modern times, current day, and I feel
Yep.
like
Which is
not
the
all that much
future.
happened. It was just a whole bunch of like crisis, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he
well,
build the
Rocky is
chain in the
exploring-
last one?
No.
No, that's in this one. So Rocky's exploring the spaceship. He's like, wow, this is crazy. You can turn on gravity. We can do experiments and stuff like that. And so that's what they do. Rocky builds like hamster tunnels throughout the spaceship so that he can move around in his own atmosphere in Ryland's
Yeah,
spaceship.
he's fully moved into
And they're
the
made
Hail
of, they're made
Mary.
of xenonite or whatever, so that they're strong enough to maintain, because his atmosphere is
29
like
times. Yeah.
29 atmospheres, and it's like 1 billion degrees, and it's made of ammonia, and it like really sucks in there. But this
And it
stuff
stinks,
is so
too.
powerful that it just like
It sucks and
keeps it
stinks.
separate. Yeah. Oh, and he invents this little device because he can't see, he can hear.
Mm-hmm.
But he invents this little, he has like echolocation or whatever. He invents this little device that like projects to him a 3D image that he can then use echolocation on to be able to see stuff. So,
Which I was thinking about.
He can
this.
see now with the little handheld thing.
I was thinking about this.
You can see with
this
the smartphone.
Like, there's a lot of stuff in this book that Andy Weir is really good at like describing and explaining so that it makes sense. But this to me doesn't make sense because I don't get how he can point his little camera at like a screen and have that translate into like a 3D model for him.
See, I thought about it a lot less than you guys did. And I was like, he's got the
It's sci-fi, it doesn't matter,
he's got
yeah.
the camera scanner. Like, you can just scan it and see things now.
Yeah.
And I just
But-
connected. I just kind of forewent the rest of the shit
Yeah.
where he's explaining how it worked. It was just like it just accepted that it did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it can work because I think that Andy Weir is like, I don't know, he pays attention to the details enough that it would. Like,
Yeah,
because
to
he was
detriment.
like, yeah, we thought about the risks of having a woman on board. You know? And I think if he's going to do that, he's probably thinking about this too. But yeah, it was kind of interesting because
We can't have no broads in space.
he's
He's like, that just doesn't make any sense.
there's never been a woman astronaut. Because anyway, Rocky's like, oh yeah, this one, because he and Rylan have a discussion about like the color green, for example.
Not
And so it's like
color.
I get how it could like tell you what colors are there or whatever, but yeah, I don't know because like it's more than color. Like we have depth perception and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like I feel like it'd be
right.
hard to be like, this is what color this thing is, and also like this is how far away the object is relative to other things and how far away they are. But I don't know.
Whatever, I guess. It's not.
I guess
it
maybe
doesn't
it's just
seem to
for
be a
screens.
problem.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, like he's moved in and they're doing stuff and pittering around or whatever. He's rolling around in his hamster balls, and O'Rylan is doing his stuff, and they come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So they
wait.
know. Well, they discover that all of the astrophage in this solar system are going to this big planet, right?
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, what we have to do is go collect some of that astrophage, and in order to do that, we have to know, like, we have to get to this planet, right? So they formulate a plan to get to this planet and pick up some of this astrophage.
Because I
I
think
don't
there's a predator in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
when
some
they
predator clouds
decide-
going on.
I don't know when they come to that conclusion, but they've decided that, like, hey, something's got to be like culling the astrophage population.
Yeah,
so-
we got to go over there and get a scoop of this air.
So they
Yeah.
collect astrophage from the Petrova line to the star.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah,
in
yeah.
that, they see, okay, there's like actually a whole ecosystem of stuff. And I think we did this in our last section. But that ecosystem, it's like not just astrophage, it's other little microbes, alien microbes too. And so they're like, oh, there must be a predator in here. But then they do some tests and figure out actually there's not a predator there. But there must be a predator maybe on the planet itself. So they're like, okay, we understand that there are other microbes, so we need to like go get the microbes from the planet. Oh, and then they do something too where it turns out that like the number of astrophages going to the planet and the number of astrophages leaving the planet is the same, which it shouldn't be. Because like
it
on
should be
Earth,
like closer to double or something.
Yeah,
right?
because they're going to the planet to reproduce. So like in our solar system, they're like going to Venus and then they're coming back twice as many because there are no predators. So I liked this. Like I think that this was like a plausible explanation for like this is like just an invasive species story. I mean, sci-fi, but it's like, you know, if there's like some kind of beetle or whatever that's coming into your place and doesn't have any predators and it's eating all your shit, like its population is going to get out of whack and it's going to cause a lot of ecological harm or whatever. But we're just thinking about not like in one ecosystem, we're thinking about like the whole galaxy basically that has this invasive species. So their whole idea is like, okay, we just need to figure out what the predator is, and then I guess we introduce the predator to get rid of the thing.
They determine that because there's this predator that's specifically evolved to eat astrophage on this planet.
Eat ass.
There's this predator that's specifically evolved to take care of these astrophage on this planet, that this must be like Tau Ceti's solar system must be astrophage's home system. It's where they originate from.
Right.
And that's why there's a predator there. I'm wondering if we'll learn how they... I guess maybe we've already kind of learned how they've learned how to travel super far. But it would be interesting if there was some sort of explanation of how they first decided that traveling to a different star is a good idea. The astrophage, that is. But I don't know.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I don't know. How much more we'll get.
Anyways, so they go to this planet, and they also name the planet. Rocky gives it a name in his language that is supposed to be his partner's name. So that's something that you learn, is that these Iridians have mates as well. And then Ryland calls it Adrian.
I thought it was funny.
because of Rocky and Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian is Rocky's girlfriend in the Rocky movie.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. So they go to this planet. It takes them like 2 weeks to get there, something like that, 10 days or something, to get there on the spaceship. And then they start orbiting the spaceship, and they're like, okay, cool, let's collect some astrophage here and see if we get any predators. They don't get any predators, and they're like, okay, well, we have to turn on our IR camera and figure out at what altitude on this planet the astrophage or the predators are at. And so they find the right altitude, and they're like, okay, the problem is the gravity on this planet is like too high for us to bring the ship down that low. So we have to make a giant chain with a bucket on the end of it to catch some of these predators.
It's a chain that's like 10 kilometers long, which is like
big chain.
What's that? 6 miles?
You'll never make this chain.
Yeah, it's a long ass chain. And in order to in order to be able to use this chain, they have to basically get close enough to the planet where they will be getting pulled in a little bit, but they can angle their ship at a certain way and blast astrophage out of the back of the ship at a certain rate to kind of keep them floating in orbit at this altitude that they need to be at.
But it's going to totally work.
But it's going to vaporize. It's going to vaporize the atmosphere behind the ship. They already know this.
There are a couple parts in here where I thought that there was a typo, but I actually don't think that there is, because there was a discussion of altitude, which is like how far away from the planet we are, but then there's also a discussion of attitude, which I think is like a term that means like the tilt of the ship,
right?
Or Trent is indicating it's like side to side tilt.
It's how wobbly it is.
So
this is wobbliness is the attitude. This
was interesting because it's like you're this spaceship and you're getting sucked into the planet, but you have to tilt yourself the right way so that you can hang this big chain basically with a bucket on the end and use the right amount of thrust to like do it. And so this I followed it. This would be a cool movie scene, obviously.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this is giving me like Mission Impossible vibes.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of in the trailer.
I haven't seen any of the trailers, and this also, I feel like I said the trailer or the clips that I saw were like very colorful, and like Trent said, because they're so close to the atmosphere, they're like, and their engine is on to give them thrust or whatever, they're burning up the atmosphere, which I think could be to have some cool visual effects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, it's working. You know.
It takes them like 2 weeks to build all the chain
Oh, yeah.
links. And then the spool, like put all the chain links together, and then put all the chains on spools, and then mount them to the outside of the ship. It takes them a long time to do that.
So they say it takes them 2 weeks of like 8 hours a day making chains. And
yeah.
connecting.
Yeah, they're
stuff.
linking shit for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, they're in like a tiny little spaceship, but they got to make 10 kilometers of this.
Yeah.
So.
And I think
Shit.
it's also maybe it'll
That
be important.
sucks.
Maybe it'll be important to know that when Rylan was asking Rocky about how much Xenonite he has, it felt like making these chains was like the majority of the Xenonite he had left over.
Yeah, I think it's like 0.3 of the 0.6 that he's got, or some
Yeah.
shit like that.
So like he's starting to run out of Xenonite, which may be an issue. Who knows?
But I think it might also just be the amount of xenonite he's got on him right now. Like they'll
Yeah.
just go back
Go
to
back to the
Rocky's
ship.
ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little fuzzy on like whether they can just go back, because I would abandon the Earth spaceship at this point. I think it's too fucked up. We got all kinds of issues with it now. And
Yeah.
as we'll get to at the
Yeah.
end, there was a new issue dropped on us at the very end too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
they make. I don't know if they can go like reattach to Rocky's ship or whatever. I guess they've still got that cool little robot. I think we need to get the robot onto their ship at least.
Yeah.
Um,
we gotta get a glip shido in here.
Yeah. So they're dragging the chain.
These nuts across
And they're-
the space, right? And
Yeah.
they pick up the scoop of the planet air.
It's like ice
Right,
cream scoop.
They scoop up the air. They break it all in. They got some cool elaborate devices to have it all kind of just fall off and stop it right at the last moment, just cause you know, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Rylan,
So
it's important to know that Rylan has to be out on the spaceship hull to make sure all of this goes
Yeah,
down
he's got to dip
properly.
his arm in to get
And
the
so
scoop out.
he's doing the fucking Mission
dunks it in the
Impossible thing
water.
where he's like hanging onto the side of the airplane, you know.
Yeah. And they talk about how because they're so close to the planet, there is gravity. So
Yeah.
the spacesuit and stuff is not designed for use when there's gravity. It's designed for like zero gravity maneuvers or whatever. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm clipped in, but like these clips are not made for like, you know, when I'm under the effects of gravity and stuff like that." So,
Mhm.
but yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
so the scooping thing seems to be working, and it's like, oh wow, look at Rocky and freaking Rylan teamwork.
Rocky
That's right.
Rylan, we did it. We got the scoop of the space air. We're gonna
That's it.
analyze it. Let me get to
He's
the
got
front
it.
of the ship.
Yeah.
Oh shit, something's happening. It turns out our hull exploded somehow, or to some degree. We got hull
Yeah.
damage, and we got two of our fuel tanks on one of the sides leaking. We got to jettison them. We jettison them. Oh no, we jettison them. Now we're crushed by our chair. I think like we're crushed by like.
Yeah, so it's all related to like gravity, right? So they're like trying to get back. They're trying to get back to like
An
orbit,
a safe
Yeah.
orbit,
a safe
Stable
orbit, stable.
Yeah, they
that's
got
word
the
I was
sample
looking for.
inside. They're trying to get out of space and try to
Yeah.
get to like safe space, out of
They're
planet
trying to
space
get-
into safe space.
to a stable orbit, and they're like noticing that gravity is getting heavier and heavier, and they're like, "What's going on?" It says we're in a
like
safe.
really heavy, like
Yeah.
7 G's.
It says we're in a safe orbit, but this is insane. And so then they kind of like come to the conclusion that there must be holes in their tanks, and all of these fucking astrophage in the tanks are seeing the fucking carbon dioxide rich atmosphere of Adrian, and they're like leaving the ship so fast that it's making lots of gravity, lots of acceleration happen. And so they have to jettison these fucking tanks, and
Yeah,
they do it.
Fuel tanks.
And they do it, but when they do it, after that, the ship starts spinning like crazy because it's missing these tanks now for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
It starts
I think it's
spinning.
got like uneven weight, and like maybe it's thrusting out the side where the holes were or whatever. But yeah, so there's like the acceleration gravity, and then it's spinning. So it's
they launch
Gravitron.
launch another one out there, and then they can't figure it out.
They're spinning, and he's like getting crushed by his own chair against the screen, and he can't. Rylan can't do anything about it. He's like, the gravity is too much. He's like about to fucking pass out, and then Rocky leaves his fucking safe atmosphere hamster tubes, crashes into the screen next to him, and like pulls the chair off of him and says like, "You gotta save us. You gotta save humans and Iridians because I'm gonna die. I'm in your atmosphere." And there's like smoke billowing out of his little fucking radiator holes and stuff.
It's just not looking good for Rocky.
Yeah,
but he saved Rylan Grace. So now Rylan Grace, he's safe. He figures out the spaceship shit. It's all figured out. Now he's got to save his homie Rocky. So he lugs his ass into his other airlock. He figures out some science shit to kind of figure out some of the particulars. But basically, he just picks him up and then he puts him in his own space.
Basically, it's like I'll just have to carry him back to his place, basically.
And he's 300 pounds. Damn, like
in order to cycle the airlock and get him back in his atmosphere, like Rylan has to like press a button on one wall and then like jump through the other wall, and so in the process, he gets exposed to Rocky's atmosphere for like 2 seconds, and it really fucks him up.
It fucks him up big time. Yeah. It burns him.
But Rocky's also on fire. It was also just on fire everywhere. Like Rocky had it way worse.
Stronger than a human, I guess. He's made of rocks, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Rylan figures out how to get him into the airlock, right? Yeah. And he's like, "Shit, I feel bad. Let me figure out a way to help out my homeboy Rocky. He's got some gunked up fans. Let me come up with some kind of way to basically make an air pressurized can."
Yeah.
Shit.
He noticed all the soot and smoke.
Let me make one of these to shoot into Rocky's fucking holes. All right, and compress some air cans into him. Boom, he does that. He shoots it in there. Gunk comes out. Ron's feeling fucking great. Shortly later, Rocky awakes. He's like, "Oh shit, you did that? You almost killed me, dude. That's crazy that you did that. But I'm thankful that you're alive. We're alive." That's what's up.
Rocky's sooty ass radiator lungs.
Sooty ass radiator lungs.
Were like the soot was like scabs that were protecting his lungs from more damage, right? And so Rylan just like ripped all the scabs off of Rocky's lungs with the air. But anyways, everything's fine. Everybody's kind of healing up slowly. Getting better. They're starting to do tests on this bucket of astrophage predators that they found, and they also give it a name. Rocky tells Rylan that Rylan has to name the predators because he's the one who found them. And so Rylan names them Tau'Meba because he's not in a mood to make up something clever.
Yeah.
So he names them Tau'Meba. They do a lot of testing on them and stuff. They like put them under microscopes and everything.
They science them bitch asses.
Yeah,
and it works like an amoeba. So I don't know. I mean, if that means anything.
If you're fucking hip to amoeba science, you know what's going on.
I don't know. Like if you ever watch like a white blood cell or whatever, right? I mean, it's just like a big thing that goes
some
in
killers
that eats a little cell. So it basically just kind of works like we might expect regular microbiology or whatever. But
it's a gregario.
Which is interesting because it's like Rylan is like, I don't know. Normally these astrophages just like jet off at the speed of light or whatever. But I guess these Tau'Mebas have something that stops them.
Yeah, these Tau'Mebas fuck them up. They go ham.
Yeah. And then they once they figure out that these Tau'Meba actually do eat astrophage, they're like, okay, great. Now we need to see if they can survive in our particular atmospheres, in Earth atmosphere and in arid atmosphere.
Well, actually, Trent, they need to figure out if they can survive on Venus atmosphere.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Three world.
Atmosphere.
Shout out 3 World, bro.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess they're
yeah.
just trying to stop these things from breeding on the planets in their respective solar
Yeah,
systems.
they're analogous Tau Aridi 3.
Yeah, but there was one part where it's like, yeah, we just have to handle these 2 planets. No, not Earth and Arid. Those are just the planets we live on. The planets we care about are Venus and 3 World. So I make
Yeah.
sure to note
What's
that.
3 World?
What's 3 World? You're probably asking.
You're probably wondering how I got in this mess. Me too. I still have amnesia, apparently.
It's quite a long story.
I selectively have amnesia sometimes. It hasn't been a plot point in the past couple episodes, but I'm still getting flashbacks.
Yeah, so they set up like these mock atmospheres for Venus, which is where astrophage in our solar system is reproducing and where they have to kill it, and 3 World, which is where astrophage
Which is Iridian
reproducing
Venus.
in the Iridian solar system and where they have to kill it. And everything seems to be going great. It's like they're kind of limping around. They're both still injured and shit, but it's like they're doing important experiments, and then the lights go out. And that's where it ends.
That's where we end.
Yeah.
And that's chapter 20, the full of chapter 21. So our next time we'll finish the book.
That's right.
Yep.
There's
We're
not a
gonna
lot
finish
left.
it up. It's like 100
That's
pages left.
22 into some kind of alien symbol.
Yeah. Which could be important. Maybe. Do you
That's
guys have any predictions? My prediction, the lights being out, it does matter, right? But Rocky doesn't see light, so it doesn't really matter to him. So he's going to be able to coach us through how to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. Immediate
but Ryland's
prediction,
gonna
that's
be
good.
Ryland's going to be freaking out, but he's going to be like, what? I don't know what happened. He's going to be like, oh, the lights are out.
We're going to get a crazy revelation of crazy quotation marks, like we already know, but about how Ryland Grace ends up going to space. Like his final, like, you know what, I'm going to decide. We're going to get that. We'll probably have some little, maybe at least a paragraph where he's going off about how he'll do it. And then they'll save the day and everything will be sick, I think. I think that's kind of how it's going to end out.
Yeah.
How do we use the gun?
I don't think they use the gun. I think the Chekhov's gun is a waste. I think he might do some heroin for fun.
Just on the way back, he's going to do some heroin.
I'm wondering if...
Hey, what else are you going to do? It's like 8 light years or whatever.
Yeah, right. I'm wondering if...
In a coma again? Though it worked out so well last time.
Well, Rocky's already proven himself to be good at spending multiple years alone, right? He's been alone in this solar system for 40-something years.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is that either something is going to happen to Ryland, and he's not going to make it back to Earth, and Rocky is going to have to be like, hey, I have your solution. Please, like, bear with me. This is my second language. Or whatever.
That would be so funny. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here on behalf of Ryland Grace.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would
He
be
couldn't
pretty
make
sweet.
it. He died.
Either something happens to Ryland Grace, like right after he sets the ship to go back to Earth, or something happens while he's in a coma. But the issue is, I don't know. Well, I guess Rocky is supposed to be just going back to his planet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I wonder because like they were like, oh, you know, Rocky was like, oh, I got enough astrophage for you to get back to your planet, but I don't know if old Ryland has enough like food and water and stuff, so maybe he has to tag along with old Rocky back to Rocky World, but he can't hang out there because
There's not enough time in this book, man.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see Andy Weir lean more into the fiction than the science as we get into the last like 100 pages of this book.
Yeah, there's just not enough for
Just
everything to be solved.
Yeah, he can't have some bullshit explanation about the fifth beetle.
I think we could fix everything, but yeah, I don't know if there's enough time. Unless there could just be a time jump, and it's like oh, Ryland Grace back in the classroom, 12 years later.
Yeah.
Or he meets up with his students, his students from his third
Who are
grade
50?
class or whatever. Yeah, who are gonna be they're gonna be older than him because of relativity or whatever. So if he makes it back, I guess there could be some time.
It's like
for
Buzz
that.
Lightyear.
So.
Yeah.
How do you guys rate this section?
It's the
I
best
like
one
this.
we've
I think
read.
this is it's the most entertaining. It's the most like action packed section that we've read. Now that all of the fucking how I got here and how I learned to speak an alien language and all that stuff is out of the way, and now we're getting into how I solve the problem. Pretty good. Yeah,
I'd give it 4 out of 6 Project Hail Mary scientists.
Which two? Not Dubois or
Yeah, not the dead ones who were banging each other as
well,
they
actually,
exploded.
4 of them died, didn't they? Dubos and
well, yeah.
Shapiro
Well,
and Yao.
I'm talking about a time of
You know?
liftoff.
a liftoff time.
I'm talking about flashback living.
Yeah, flashback. That's good.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think I would give it. I'll probably give it 8 light years out of 12.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna give it 8 kilometers of chain out of 10 kilometers of chain.
Never break the chain.
Never break the chain. They were
That's
breaking
right.
it. They were just dropping.
Yeah, it was specifically designed to break
Yeah,
it in certain intervals.
they're just littering all over this planet, man.
Yeah.
It is a
Anyway.
gas planet. Yeah, shout out Tau City. Shout out
Tao
FK the
City.
Pod anywhere and everywhere. Shout out Book Balls. Thanks for listening.
Finish the book for next
Finish
week.
the book for next week. And then after that, we got Choose Your Own Adventure and Show and Tell, baby.
That's right.
Woo.
See
And
ya.
we'll figure out what the book is after.